fast to prepare for this. Tripping in the world could be dangerous. Everybody circling as vultures. Negative, nepotist. Everybody waiting for the fall of man. Everybody praying for the end of times. Everybody hoping they could be the one. I was born to run, I was born for this. Whip, whip, run me like a racehorse. Pull me like a ripcord. Break me down and build me up. I wanna be the slip, slip. Word upon your lip, lip. Rather that you rip, rip. Break me down and build me up. Whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do whatever it takes. 'Cause I love how it feels when I break the chains. Whatever it takes. Yeah, take me to the top. I'm ready for whatever it takes. 'Cause I love the adrenaline in my veins. I do what it takes. Got a fear of being typical. Looking at my body feeling miserable. Always hanging on.
I'll toss it up. Drop it. All right, I gotta get that mud off it. It's all dirty out here. Ready? Go. There, I let him a little better. Good job, Maxie. So, yeah, the Middle East is all messed up, and so is everything around Israel. You know, they're bombing Lebanon. There was a strike in Syria by Trump. He I don't know who he attacked, ISIS perhaps, but so things have been going out of hand for a while. Also, there's 2.3 million casualties. I got this from Redacted News. 2.3 million casualties on Ukrainian side and 1 million on Russia's side. 4 years of war, never-ending war, because the leaders want to make money off of it. Isn't that right, Max? Come on, buddy. You know, the elite bankers, oy vey, that run everything out of Switzerland, those guys, they want to continue to supply both sides of the war while they run to the bank with all the money. So that's why these wars never end. Anyways, here's a couple of clips from South Front and Telegram. Hope you enjoy. JP out. And Merry Christmas. Let's try it again, buddy. Get caught in the mud.
As the United States works to establish a strategic alliance with Syria's new Islamist-led government, the threats facing its forces in the war-torn country appear to be growing. The threats became clear on December 13th when U.S. troops came under attack in the central city of Palmyra. A gunman opened fire at the troops as they were meeting with representatives of Syrian security forces, killing 2 soldiers and a translator. Later it emerged that the gunman was security personnel who served as the guard of a senior officer. This was the first attack to target U.S. troops in Syria since the country joined the anti-ISIS coalition led by Washington last month. The attack in Palmyra came a day after coalition aircraft had begun to operate all over Syria. A British MQ-9B Protector combat drone was spotted over the governorate of Homs in central Syria, and a U.S. Beach King Air 350I spy plane was spotted over the northern city of Aleppo on December 12th. The attack was not surprising, however. Signs of a near insurgency against the Syrian government and U.S. forces have been around for a while. Earlier in the month, specifically on December 9th, a salvo of 3 rockets targeted Meza Air Base right next to the Syrian capital Damascus. The U.S. is reported to be planning to deploy troops there. The latest attacks were clearly a setback for the emerging alliance between the U.S. and Syria. The biggest beneficiary was, of course, Israel. On December 15th, U.S. envoy to Syria Tom Barrack and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met in Jerusalem. Several understandings on Syria were reportedly reached. According to the Jerusalem Post, Barrack and Netanyahu agreed during the meeting on Israel's freedom of operation in Syria. Israeli officials also told their U.S. counterparts that Syrian security forces cannot be relied upon, citing the deadly attack in Palmyra. Another beneficiary from the recent attacks was the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces. On December 17th, the U.S.-led coalition held what appears to be one of its largest joint exercises with the group in the eastern governorate of Deir ez-Zor. The exercise was seen as a sign that the U.S. was not ready to abandon the SDF, already a trusted ally, in favor of the emerging alliance with the Syrian government. Despite growing threats to its forces, the U.S. will not likely leave Syria anytime soon. This does not mean, however, that Washington will base its presence in the country on its relations with Damascus. Despite all recent progress, Israel and the SDF remain the key partners of the U.S. when it comes to Syria. Negotiations on a peace agreement between Russia and Ukraine have been difficult. Despite mediation attempts by the United States, the parties to the conflict continue to insist on their key demands. Meanwhile, fighting continues along the front lines. There has been intense combat throughout the Sumy region. Russian army advance units are breaking through enemy defenses with the support of aircraft and artillery. On December 17th, it was reported that Russian assault groups had reached the outskirts of Andriivka. Volchansk, which was previously captured, is being used as a springboard to advance further into Ukraine. On December 16th, frontline assault units entered the western outskirts of Volchansky Khutora and began fighting for control of the settlement. Russian troops have also advanced west and south of Volchansk. Fighting in Vilche is coming to an end, with only scattered pockets of Ukrainian army resistance remaining in the village. Additionally, the area under Russian control in the forest west of Liman has expanded. The battle for Kupiansk is in full swing. Several days earlier, pro-Ukrainian sources reported that Ukrainian troops had advanced to the heart of the city. However, on December 16th, footage emerged online showing Russian troops moving freely through the city center. The city center remains under Russian control. It is likely that the Ukrainian command will launch a major attack north of the city. This should cut off the Russian group's supply routes, trapping them in an encirclement. However, this plan is so obvious that the Russian troops have already concentrated their reserves for a counterattack. Russian units are reportedly advancing north of Seversk in the Dronovka and Platonovka areas. Following the loss of the city, the Ukrainian army is retreating westward. Over the next week, this section of the front will align with the Platonovka-Reznikovka line. A turning point in the battles for Myrnograd is highly likely. The unified defense of the besieged Ukrainian forces has ceased to exist. In the coming days, this disorganization may lead to an increase in prisoners of war. The loss of unified control over the troops in the city only facilitates the Russian army's occupation of the city. The situation in Gulyapol remains tense. There is fierce fighting for control of the city. Ukrainian command's main problem is the Russian units' breakthrough much further north in the Peshchanoye area. They must spread their already limited reserves. The operational situation on the fronts of the Ukrainian conflict remains difficult. Despite Ukrainian tactical successes in settlements adjacent to the city, the Russian army still controls Kupiansk.
High-intensity missile and drone strikes on Ukraine's energy infrastructure persist. According to Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov, more than 70% of thermal power plants and over 37% of hydroelectric power plants have been destroyed. Meanwhile, the situation on the front lines of the Ukrainian conflict remains difficult. The battle for Kupiansk is in full swing. Earlier, Ukrainian command transferred all available reserves to this section of the front in an attempt to regain control of the city. Ukrainian advance units managed to break through to Kupiansk and engage Russian troops in combat. According to reports from December 19th, the Ukrainian forces regained control of the Yubilini microdistrict. However, they were driven out of the northern outskirts of the city. The Ukrainian command deployed reserves north of Kupiansk in an attempt to cut off supplies. It is too early to discuss success or the encirclement of the Russian group in the city. Moscow has not yet engaged the available reserves in the area. After completely disrupting the Ukrainian defenses in Myrnograd, the Russian assault units intensified their offensive. On December 18th, fighting reportedly began in the city center, an area that had been tightly controlled by the Ukrainian army just days prior. Myrnograd can now be considered definitively lost to Ukraine. The city's unified defense system has ceased to exist. It is only a matter of time before the Russian army finishes eliminating the last pockets of Ukrainian resistance. The situation in the Guliapol area continues to deteriorate for the Ukrainian army. The Russian command has increased pressure on the northern section of the front. Significant forces have been deployed to expand the bridgehead behind the main line of Ukrainian defense along the Gacha River. On December 18th, the Russian army's advanced assault groups seized the village of Gerasimovka. From this settlement, subsequent strikes can be launched north and south. On December 19th, the Russians achieved a major tactical success west of Dobropilia. After successfully crossing the Haicha River, they broke the main line of Ukrainian defense. If the offensive maintains its current pace, the entire Ukrainian front in this area could collapse. Russian paratroopers reported a major tactical success on December 18th in the Stepnogorsk area. Advance groups broke through east of the city and entered the village of Lukyanovskoye, advancing further into it. As the front approaches Zaporizhia, Ukrainian military targets are increasingly being struck. On December 18th, Russian drones destroyed a number of Ukrainian armored vehicles. Notably, the military equipment was based in a regular parking lot surrounded by civilian vehicles.
Down and out, and you really hurt. Oh, come on over, see what I can do. Oh, your loneliness, I will soothe. Oh, baby, I'll play the blues for you. Come on in, don't be afraid. You might even meet one of your old time friends. All your loneliness I will soothe. Oh baby, I'll play the blues for you. Yeah. sit yourself down for a minute. I want to talk to you. No use sitting in the corner weeping and moaning. You know loneliness is a real bad thing. I think I'd rather do anything than be lonely. But you know, there's a whole big world out there, and it's full of opportunities. But in the meantime, I'm gonna take my guitar here, and here's what I'll do. I'll play the blues for you.